Hello, everybody. It's Pearlo Wisdom, and you're watching the Pearlo Wisdom Betting Show. Pearlo's betting and hockey talk frolic with all the trades going on in the land. My gosh, we could go on and on. I wish I could have started earlier today because we could have did a lot more. But that's okay. We're going to look at the games. I'm going to try to talk about some of the trades. First of all, I got to say that Boston is going to win the Cup. Just future whatever you get at Boston winning the Cup. Bertuzzi was one hell of a pickup. Oh my God. Incredible pickup. And I actually did a Bertuzzi trade video, and Boston was in the video. I thought it was a really good chance that they would be going after Boston, that deal. But, or going after Bertuzzi for sure. Type of player he is, what they need in their bottom six, offense from their bottom six, all of that stuff like that. And getting Orlov and the team that they already have, I don't think it upsets the apple cart as much as it might be doing in Toronto, doing everything that they're doing. But, wow, it has been a whirlwind. And it's makes it tough for capping, to tell you the honest truth, because there's a lot more things you got to look at now when you're looking at players going into different teams, how many new players are coming in, learning new systems, like we saw last night with Toronto. Last night with Toronto against Edmonton, they looked confused. I should have took more into account. I didn't take Toronto in that game. I did well on the game itself. I took, let's look at it. I took the over 2.5 in the second period in that game. And that was my favorite pick from yesterday. Did fairly well yesterday as well, mostly because of shot props. I hit shot props like crazy yesterday. Let's look. I think I hit every shot prop I had. What did I have yesterday? I had, and you can get all these shot props at bpalpicks.com, by the way, don't you know? I had Robertson over 3.5 shots, Nylander over 2.5 shots, Hyman over 2.5 shots, Heiskanen over 2.5 shots, Gibson over 33.5 saves. I had all of that, and I nailed every one of them. As far as the games themselves, there are some things to learn here. I had the Rangers in a 2-pick parlay with Washington, and they got it. I kind of figured they would squeak it out, but there was always that chance that they could blow the Flyers right out of the water. Either way, I was kind of going back and forth between Flyers plus 1.5 and Rangers money line. I didn't play the total, but I did like the under. And now the Rangers are going to go to Ottawa today, and that's going to be an interesting game that we'll get into as well. As far as the trades that the Rangers have done, I personally don't consider them a contender in the East. I know people are going to look at their names that they have and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but they have too many players that play the same way. Getting Kane doesn't help it. And I've talked about it ad nauseum, how they're poor 5-on-5. Defensively they're okay, but Kane is certainly not helping that. In fact, it would be the other direction by a long shot. When you're looking at teams that can play all three zones, like Boston and Carolina, Rangers can't compete. I'll even go as far as to say that New Jersey, who hasn't really hit their stride as far as where the Canes or Boston is in that area, but are going that direction, will probably beat the Rangers first round. So think of that for a future coming up. I would lean towards New Jersey over the Rangers in the first round. Second game, the Oilers and Maple Leafs. I didn't have a play on the side, but I did play the Oilers money line when it was tied 1-1. and minus 110. I put a couple units on that. I should have put more because they were just, Maple Leafs were obviously playing confused. People weren't knowing exactly where they're supposed to be, which with all the new trades that they did, and I think those trades are going to work. I'm not so sure that it's going to be as successful this year. I'm not so. They got 20-some games here to kind of mesh and get together and stuff like that. It could work out well. I love the O'Reilly move. It does give them a chance. I mean, McCabe is going to be there for a longer term. And I guess the big one that's hard for people to swallow is the Sandin move. But when you got McCabe, when you look at it, I think it was a tough decision for Toronto too. I don't think that they were just like, oh yeah, let's get rid of Sandin now. But Sandin himself, the agent, probably when they picked up McCabe, picked up the phone and said, okay, I'm obviously not going to be in the top 4 for a while. And they know he's not going to be in the top 4 for a while. McCabe is a top 4 defenseman, a very good one. He's going to be around till 2025. He plays a game that is not something Sandin is, but I think Sandin will be as good, if not better, in the long run. But that's not what Toronto's worried about right now. The guy that really should go, if you don't have cap and if there's no such thing as, oh wait, you guys can't see what I'm doing here. I didn't put my, there you go, window capture. There you go. Okay, that's better. Oops. Come on. There. If there's no such thing as cap and he doesn't have a no trade clause and all of those things like that, then Morgan Riley's the guy that's got to go. He's not that great of a defenseman. He's very overrated. I would much rather have kept Sandin for the long term and had McCabe there than Morgan Riley. But that being said, they keep on putting Justin Holl in there. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. You've got Luke Schenn is better defenseman than Justin Holl. He should be playing in the lineup somewhere. Put Brody with Morgan Riley and Schenn with McCabe or whatever, but Holl shouldn't be in the lineup. Timmins is better than Holl. Like, Holl is terrible. Terrible. And he's so bad that it's an agreement with the analytics people and the people that just do eye test. Like, that's how bad he is. Sort of like Tyler Myers in Vancouver. I don't know what the love affair with Keith is with Justin Holl. I have no idea. Just because he's big, I guess. Somebody tell me that. I would love to know. But we'll continue looking at the games here. The Oilers, did I have props? Oh, yes, I had Zach Hyman over 3.5 shots. And that came in pretty strong. I think he had 6 last I saw. I don't know if that was the final amount of shots, but it was a pretty simple one for me. Playing against his old team, that's always one that you want to look at. Oh, 7. He ended up with 7. He was going to get tons of minutes. He has been going over his shots anyways. They did have him at a 3.5 at plus 125. And I was all over that. In fact, I wish I would have put way more on than I did. So we had live bet Edmonton, over 2.5 second period. Oilers are over 2.5 second period all the time. something to look at all the time, especially when they're playing with offensive. I didn't take the full game over, and that was because there was a trend that these teams played to the under. And I'm going to try for a while, I think, to not pay attention to trends. I never was a trend guy, so why would I now start being a trend guy? David scores 2. Klim Kostin, my guy. I almost want to get a shirt with him on it. I love that guy. I loved him when he was drafted. He was drafted 30th overall, and I had him in my top 10 that draft. That's how much I love Klim Kostin, and I still do. But anyways, people say, well, Edmonton looked great. They did, but I think anybody would have looked great against Toronto last night because they just were confused. They just have so many new guys in their lineup that have to learn a new system. You know, they just traveled here. They're all getting to know. The energy has changed. Everything's different. And they got to change that in like 20-some games. They got to get everybody orientated and get the energy back and cohesion in 20-some games. It's a tough task. That's why I wonder if this may not be the year. Maybe it's the year they win in the first round. Unless, Tampa could be playing a little possum right now too. I think they're taking the foot off the gas right now. But I'm not sure that it's not the year that they're a cup. But give a bunch of these guys that they brought in, and I don't know if O'Reilly's possible to get signed. Let's take a look if it's even possible. I did a trade video, and Toronto was one of my teams in the O'Reilly trade video, I believe, or was it Bertuzzi that I said it was going to be impossible? Okay, Ryan O'Reilly. He's going to be a free agent. He's probably going to, I don't know how many. It's hard to put a number on Ryan O'Reilly at 32 years old, but I'm going to say somewhere around the 6-ish mark, somewhere around there. Kerfoot won't be back. He might be traded here before the deadline. They've got a guy, Camp at 1.5 million. Hole, I can't see being back. So let's see what they have for cap space. 9 million. 9 million in cap space. So if they sign him for 6, they got to fill all these other spots with 3 million. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with how much the cap is going to raise. There's probably moves they could make to get some room here somehow. I don't know. It would be very, very tough. I'm not sure it would be impossible, but it would be very, very tough, especially when you consider Nylander is going to need a contract in 2024-25. Kind of depends on how much the cap is going to raise, but that should be fun. And if they can get him done, I'm pretty sure they'll get him done, especially if he knocks it out of the park in the playoffs. Okay, let's look at the next game. And this is where my sides go to shit a little bit. But there's things to learn from it. There's things to learn from that Toronto game. If I should have thought that if a team that made all those moves, but what did I say yesterday in the video? I didn't trust the Oilers. But now when I see that, I'm going to keep that in my mental bank. That even if you don't trust the other team, don't trust the team that just made a shitload of moves like that again. How often does that happen this early, right? Maybe at the trade deadline and stuff like that. But this was happening over a certain amount of time. Keep on making moves like that. So it doesn't happen very often. But I'm going to remember that. If it happens again, I'll take the other team regardless of who X team is. Stars minus 1.5, we had it. We also had the over, but it pushed. And the Stars got it done. Where they really made me money here was the shot props. Hello, how you doing, Lauren? How you doing, buddy? Where they really made me money was the shot props on this one. We had Robertson over 3.5, and Heiskanen over 2.5. Do we have another one? No, I think that was it. We had those two, and we got them both. We pushed on the total. Not a real big win for Dallas. They've been struggling, and they beat like one of the worst teams in the league, and didn't do it all that convincingly, but they did outshoot them a lot. And it's that young goaltender for Anaheim is really coming into his own, Connor Ingram. Like, I think the last 3 or 4 games, he's just stopped shots like crazy. So which is kind of why I didn't put much on the over, but I didn't hit the over anyway, so it didn't really matter. It was only one unit on the over. Man, oh man, this is taking a long time. Okay. Scores. We can talk about anything you want to down there. I got a little bit of, whatever. I have all the time I want, I guess. March 1st. Come on. Come up. Okay. This is where it went to shit for me. I took the Avalanche, and I'm really kicking myself I took the Avalanche on this game. Because if you look at the narrative of what was going on, getting Jesse Puljujarvi, they smashed it out of the park. They're going to make Edmonton look absolutely ridiculous for that trade. Puljujarvi is one of the best young two-way forwards in the league. The reason why his offense didn't percolate in Edmonton was because let's put it this way: if Edmonton played like Carolina did and had the defense that they did, nothing would stop them. But Puljujarvi only knows how to play the right way, and the right way in the modern day is how Carolina plays. So he's going to be like, it's going to be like going to heaven for him. They're playing in, he's going to fit right like a glove. And with Brind'Amour building up his confidence, this is a guy that shot the lights out in junior, like in, or not junior, but when he was in Sweden. And he played with Aho too. And both of them played exceptionally good two-way hockey. Obviously, Aho is. So I think he's going to fit right in there. It's going to be perfect. I would not doubt that Puljujarvi has 30-goal seasons. And the Edmonton Oilers are going to just look foolish because they could not, they didn't realize how. Let's see, what happened in Edmonton is Puljujarvi, he had to play for the defense. All of the Oilers do, because their defense is so bad that forwards got to come back and get the puck off of them because they can't get the puck in the corners. I see him as a shoot-first forward that will score and play defense and do everything you want. And Edmonton just let him slip right through their fingers because they couldn't appreciate what he was. He wouldn't fly the zone in Edmonton. He only knows how to do what he did. Like they tried to get him to just kind of wait out the defense and not go get the puck and stuff like that, which none of them should be doing. But he wouldn't do it. And by the time he got to the offensive zone, everybody was ahead of him, and he was already tired from all the work he did in the. Yeah, he lost a ton of confidence because they were trying to mold him into something that he's not, and he shouldn't be. Let's put it this way. If Puljujärvi doesn't work in your system, there's not something wrong with Puljujärvi. There's something wrong with your system. And the Oilers don't fucking get it. That's it. It's not even the system there. They don't have a defense that can play a system. They need to play like... Maybe they could play like that, but their defense can't play like that. So they were trying to tell Puljujärvi, you know, we're going to have to... You can't keep on going that deep into the offensive zone. You're too late coming into the offensive zone. And he's too tired. By the time the puck got on his stick, he'd worked so hard on his shift, he didn't have anything left to shoot. Right? If he managed to be able to get on the ice as they were going into the offensive zone, he would do great. And analytically speaking, every player he played with had better offensive stats. Every single one had better offensive stats playing with him than without him. So he contributed to the offense, and people would say, what does that matter if he's not scoring? Well, it does matter, because he's doing the things that are making it more likely that his teammates will score. That's like scoring. I think they'll probably start him with Stahl. Stahl would be good for him. Another thing about Puljujärvi is he likes to have the puck on his stick. So having a guy like Stahl would work well. He can carry it into the offensive zone and start creating there. Guys that can replacing Fost, yeah. But he'll eventually be on your top line. Brind'Amour is going to freaking absolutely love him. He'll be a top-line player within 10 games, probably. Brind'Amour is just going to fall in love with Puljujärvi. Okay. And it doesn't surprise me that a heavily analytics-based team like Carolina is the one that picked him up. I thought it was going to be Carolina, Colorado, New Jersey, which they had no place for him, possibly Tampa Bay. Washington Capitals are starting to become a very analytics-based team too. Watch out for them next year. But goes to the Canes just to help their power play. And he will. He'll help their power play. He'll probably play bottom pairing and play him on the power play with Burns. That's all it is. And it's a good pickup. He's good. He's not very good defensively, no. But he's a pretty good offensive guy. He's not disastrous defensively, but he's not good, that's for sure. He's mostly for the power play, which has been struggling there. So, Devils versus Avalanche. Okay, this is what I learned from this game. They got Meyer. You're going up against Stanley Cup champions. You're feeling really good that your organization just backed you in what you're doing. I should have been all over New Jersey here. I made a big mistake, especially with this Anunen guy. I put way too much stock into him having one good game. It was a bad move. Bad move. That being said, if they would have had Georgiev in here, the Avalanche might have won that. Probably would have won that game. Anunen, it was just too much for a kid like that to bite off. The Devils are come at you like from everywhere. So I guess they were kind of testing what Anunen could do. I don't know. Maybe there was something wrong with Georgiev. What do they have after that? Yeah, I don't know why they played. I don't know why they played Anunen in there. I really don't. Georgiev's not hurt that I know of. Maybe he's got something that they're just not telling anybody. Something that needs a little time to rest. Whoops. Went to Colorado. Yeah, he's a good skater. He's a very good skater. Ooh, are you talking about Gosh Spear? Yeah, Gosh Spear's a good skater for sure. No doubt about it. Yeah, they're just giving him a break, I guess. And, hmm, but, all right, what was next that I lost? This one I don't feel so bad about, the Hurricanes and the Gold Knights. I had the Hurricanes money line in regulation, and they played a really good game. It was a little tighter than Vegas was not really playing well, but they got up for this game, and this was your Carolina game, your team there. I thought Carolina played them pretty well. The thing with Carolina is they're having trouble putting it away. They're kind of doing what Calgary does, shooting right on the goaltender a lot and stuff like that. Except for Nichus. Oh, he's going to fit like a glove, yeah. So I was hoping, I had a money line and in regulation, went in overtime, didn't get it. Happens. Capitals versus Ducks. The only thing I had was Ovechkin over 3.5 shots, which we nailed. And I had Capitals money line, 2-pick parlay with the New York Rangers, and we hit that. So we were up 3 units on the day. So I better get to the games for today. Buffalo versus Boston. This is a spot for Buffalo. I just can't say it any other way. The thing is it's so hard to get in front of Boston regardless of the spot. That's the bad thing. But I think I am going to give a little bit on Buffalo here. There's got to be a time. This is getting later in the season. Buffalo there's everything lines up that Buffalo should win this game. They were looking ahead, I think, to this game against Columbus. So they're focused on this game, which you would, a young team playing against the big bad Bruins. Boston is coming off a Western road trip where, how many games did they play on that Western road trip? Seattle, yeah, this is like the big Western road trip. Now, Boston all year long has won in these spots. And that's the hard thing about going against Boston here. It's going to be Swayman in net. Boston also plays the Rangers after this, which is a game that they're more inclined to be concerned about winning against. So it's a look-ahead spot. It's got everything, all the things that you want in a capping world for a dog to beat a favorite is here. And I'll probably go Buffalo plus 1.5 and Buffalo money line. And then wince, and then hopefully not watch Boston do their shit that they do all the time. It's a tough one. As far as the total, I think it could go either way. I would lean to the over because if Buffalo comes out strong, I like Buffalo money line first period. I think it's Boston's legs have got to be somewhat heavy, man. They've gone through how many time zones? They just flew from Calgary to Boston. Had 1 day off and now got to play a game after playing 4 games in 6 nights. If they win this game, it's freaking almost heroic, to tell you the honest truth. But they've been doing heroic things all year, so we can look at some. We're getting big plus money too. The bad part about it is Boston has owned Buffalo. But I can't really pay attention to the trend here. They have played to the over a lot, though. That's a trend that interests me since I'm kind of leaning to the over on this game. I just think if Buffalo is going to win this game, I just find it hard to believe that they're going to win like 3-2, 4-2, or something like that. I think if they are going to win this game, they're going to break Boston early. Boston's going to come back a little bit. And then Boston's going to wear down in the third and Buffalo will pot a couple. Something like that. If they don't get tired in this game, there is no tiring Boston. I swear to God. And by the way, I don't know, it's probably terrible juice, but Boston to win the cup is the way to go. I just can't see Boston not winning the cup here. That Bertuzzi move, that was cray-cray. Cray-cray. Adding Bertuzzi to that team, plus Orlov, you got a Vezina caliber goaltender, and probably the best team in the league in all three zones. Like if the Rangers play Boston, I say sweep. Carolina will take one or two games from them. Toronto will give them a go, but I don't see anybody beating Boston. The only thing that if the series is, it's a great move. So perfect. Such a perfect move. I had Bertuzzi going to Boston in my Bertuzzi trade video. By the way, I got a Demko trade video, and you might want to watch it, Lauren. If you go to your Carolina boards on Facebook, Demko to Carolina was one of the teams. You might want to watch it. Nashville versus Florida. The biggest problem here... Oh, yeah, there's something else here about Boston. I think they had a few guys injured in this one, too. Some new injuries that just happened. Taylor Hall, yeah. Taylor Hall is out. Nick Foligno is out. And I think they're just making sure they got all their men for... it doesn't say how long. I think they're just giving them a rest, honestly. They got some new guys in there. You're coming off a long road trip. Let's see if we can find it here in the board in Cap Friendly where this might be. Teams. Boston. Depth chart. Is Bertuzzi even playing? Yeah, Bertuzzi's going to be in the lineup tonight. So, just like we were talking about with Toronto, this is another one where you got a whole bunch of new guys. Bertuzzi anyways in the lineup. That line's not going to be used to playing with each other. With Hall out and Foligno out. What I wanted to look here. What does it say? Lower body, okay. Expected duration unknown. I have a feeling they're going to give Foligno some rest until the playoffs. Hall is day-to-day. I'm thinking that they're just giving Hall a break. He's probably got bruised up or something. Looking towards the Rangers game, which is why I'm looking towards Buffalo here. Everything that you want to see for a dog as a capper says Buffalo. Except for the fact that Boston just does Boston shit. Yeah, I don't know who that second line center would be, Lord. I don't know. All right, Florida, Nashville. Florida is going to be again without Barkov. Isn't it starting to get a little concerning how many times Barkov is out of the lineup? It seems to be a regular occurrence, not just this year, but previous. It's starting to become a bit of a trend. I would be concerned. I'm concerned about but Yeah, he's going to be out of the lineup, and Bennett's going to be out of the lineup again. So they don't have that top two centers, but they've been doing just fine without it. They just spanked Tampa Bay. They just spanked Tampa Bay. Nashville just traded away Ekholm, uh, Granlund. I mean, I suppose the coach Hines could say, let's show them that, that's going to be the kind of thing that they're selling, that let's show ownership that they did the wrong thing here and blah, 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 blah. But Florida needs this win too badly. They're at home where they have been very good this year, I believe. Yeah, 16-9-3. Nashville has had a above 500 away record. But with Ryan Johansson out, Tyson Barrie, is he going to be in the lineup? Not that really turns the needle any much if he is. Carrier is out. All of a sudden, everybody's out injured. This is a team that's packed it in. I got to go Florida here. I don't see how it could be a look-ahead spot. They need every win to make it. Florida's got like Chicago after this too, so it's sort of like, or Nashville does. So if they do lose this, they can feel better that they have Nashville. The only thing bad is Florida has Pittsburgh after this. But I think coming off a hot win from Tampa, feeling good about themselves, needing every win, they're going to pepper the crap out of Nashville here today. Even without Barkov and everybody there, I think that's what's going to happen. He's got such an ironclad no movement clause. And he doesn't want to leave San Jose at all. He's said it over and over and over again. He doesn't want to leave San Jose. So it's not likely. Yeah, I can't put something together here that says Nashville wins this game, except that it's first game of a road trip. What, they beat up Vancouver, San Jose, and Arizona? That's going to make you feel like, and they just beat Florida 7-3. So this is even in a revenge game on top of it. Yeah, I'll take Florida. Florida money line probably in regulation as well. Ottawa Rangers, I think there's a spot for Ottawa. Ottawa's coming off hot from 2 wins against Detroit at home. The Rangers are coming off a pretty tough game against Philadelphia on a back-to-back, and they play Boston next. They don't desperately need to win this game. I could definitely see Ottawa winning this game. Ottawa needs it. Rangers don't need it so much. They got Kane coming in, which is going to give them a boost, I suppose. That would be the thing, is that everybody's on feel good because they're playing. I would think the over would be the player. Rangers are going to be feeling really good, probably come out like, yeah. But Ottawa's going to be, I think, Rangers are going to be feeling good and happy and joyous and all that stuff like that. But Ottawa's going to be freaking angry and trying to win. So I would lead Ottawa here. At least up plus 1.5 is minus 156. The only thing I hate about this game, definitely the over, because Talbot's going to be in net. And Halak has actually played fairly well, but I think Ottawa can outscore the Rangers here today. I think they're going to be balls out in this game. What do they got after this? What's there? Then they got Columbus after this. So yeah, if you take out the Rangers here and then they take out Columbus, they are sitting like pretty not bad. They could be not bad in the standings. They're 5 games back? 5 games back of Pittsburgh. They win the next 2. And even if Pittsburgh wins, they become 3 games back of Pittsburgh. 66, 68. And they don't have a first-round pick now to worry about, any of that. Like, they've been basically given the green light to go nuts here. And that's what they did. They did it against Detroit, and I think they might do it against Buffalo tonight. I don't trust their defense very well. Chikrin's first game in. He's a pretty adaptable dude. I think Ottawa could win this game. I'm probably going to be going with Ottawa, and I'm probably going to be going with the over. I think it's Ottawa first period. Like, all the hugs of Kane and everything, and then you come on the ice and Ottawa's like, bah, 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 bah. I think that's what's going to happen. Ottawa's going to come up and say, oh yeah, whatever, Kane. Okay, you guys have your lovey-lovey. Brady Tkachuk will go out there and just beat the crap out of everybody. So anyways, the Kane trade, it's all fluffy and beautiful and stuff like that, but he doesn't really help the Rangers all that much. I don't even, it doesn't make, to me, in my mind, the Rangers are not a contender. Pittsburgh versus Tampa Bay. Am I going to take every road team? No, I got Florida. I'm going to take a lot of road teams. I just don't like the way Tampa Bay's playing right now. I can't take them at minus 167, that's for sure. Pittsburgh's going to come out barreling in this game. Barreling. They got a couple new guys. They're going to come out barreling. Yeah, I agree. I think it did hurt the Rangers more than help. I agree. So, let's try Pittsburgh tonight. Tampa Bay hasn't won a game in a while. They could have been looking ahead to this, I suppose. I mean, they should get up for this, but I've said that a couple times now, and they didn't seem to get up for it. Probably Pittsburgh plus 1.5. And I'll parlay that with another team down the road here, like Seattle plus 1.5. That'll be a tight game, I'm sure. Detroit should be a little bit deflated. They lost a bunch of guys. I think Seattle wins the game outright, honestly. Another road team. I'm taking road teams every single game here. Like Dallas, it's got to be Chicago in that spot. Like, Chicago's just rolled right over. Rolled right over. Seattle, Detroit, I'd take under, by the way. I could actually see a tie in that Detroit-Seattle game. I don't know. I just think Detroit's going to be like, jeez. Like, they went balls out for a while there. Then they lose 2 to Ottawa, and all of a sudden Stevie Y trades everybody away. So, yeah. They get to find out that Larkin's going to be there a long time. No, I don't think so. I think Line is there for good. No, Line is there for good. Toronto, Calgary, just take the over. Who's going to be in net? Probably Vladar. Toronto's got Wall in net. I just take the over. I like the over. I can't trust Calgary to hold a lead. Toronto's off a back-to-back. They got a whole new crew there trying to figure shit out. I could see Calgary winning. It's a spot that Calgary should probably win. But are they going to? I don't know. Over. Minnesota, Vancouver. First time ever that I picked maybe Vancouver for an under. I'll take Minnesota money line. They're not going to have their new defenseman in there yet. They probably are going to be feeling pretty good about themselves that their organization were sort of buyers. But there's a whole bunch of drama going on with Demko right now. And I did this for my trade video. Demko, Farhan Lalji, which is an insider for Vancouver, who, if you're an insider for the Canucks, you don't want to be going out spreading out lies all over the place. So he said that people close to Demko, and I'm starting to realize from doing these trade videos, when somebody says people close to Demko, that usually means the agent for Demko. I don't think anybody wants Justin Hall-Weichel. That's the problem. That usually means the agent for Demko. And he's not going to say that. He's not going to tell you who they are. Says that Demko is not really happy with Vancouver, and they were even specific. Just like it sounds like the vitriol and the negativity and just the way things were done in the market and everything like that. It just kind of snowballs once you're not happy. Like you're in a Canadian market, so Vancouver, you're paying heavy taxes. Heavy taxes. So I think he's gone. I don't know if it's just trade deadline, but I think he's gone. And with that in mind, all that shit, all this negativity is what Rick Tocchet is fighting, as well as having just an ass defense on top of it. I don't know, Tampa might make some more moves, but they don't have much. What are they going to use to make moves with? I think it might be it. I think that might be it for them. So I just don't think they have no draft picks or anything to give anymore. So I like Minnesota in regulation here, except that Minnesota is not a very good regulation team. I don't like the money line. I don't like the price at all. Minus 196 on the road. That's a heavy price. Heavy price. Maybe I'll two-pick parlay that into something, because I'm pretty sure Minnesota will win this game. The other problem is Demko is playing today, and he played really well, even though he came in cold the last game. So I kind of like the under, because Minnesota's been playing under constantly, over and over and over again. Every game, under. So at plus 100, I might throw a little bit on that. LA is going. The only thing about the LA thing here is that trade for Quick, how's that going to affect the room? That trade of Quick. Yeah, we talked about that Bertuzzi trade. The trade of Quick, how's that going to affect the room? But I think Montreal's been on the road for a long time. That's the thing. Montreal hasn't done very much yet. Montreal's waiting to get value from their players, I think. Because they got a lot of players that are not very valuable. And then all of a sudden, once everything's gone, some teams will come and ask about them. But they played San Jose and they won. Play with a lot of pride. Is LA coming off an Eastern road trip? LA. No. Yeah, they're coming up, sort of. They were on a Eastern road trip, then they play Winnipeg, and now they come home against LA. Man, oh man, that's a terrible spot. And while doing so, they lose their good friend Quick. Is Korpisalo going to be in tonight? Are they going to play him? Probably not. He hasn't had a chance to practice with the team yet. Should I almost go Montreal here? There's a lot of dogs today that I'm liking. A lot of dogs. Oh my gosh, Markstrom's in for the Flames. Over. I got to get that in right away. They're putting Markstrom in against Toronto. For real. Team total over Toronto? Over? Toronto probably wins, even though it's a terrible spot for them. Another road team? Like every road team's going to win tonight, or what? Phoenix Copley's in for LA. I think LA probably pulls this out. The Canadians have been on the road for a while. They're in a warm weather market, tough climate right now, so they're probably golfing a lot and shit, I would think. I don't know. And then Sharks versus Blues, like who cares? It's tie, draw. Just draw. Sharks just lost against Montreal. They've lost everybody. The Blues have lost everybody. Nobody gives a shit about this game. Not even the players give a shit about this game anymore. I would just play the draw. Let's have each of us get a point. I'll look at the scheduling spot, I guess, but first game of a road trip for St. Louis. Just lost to Seattle. San Jose just lost to Montreal. And then they play the Capitals. Bennington's been playing well. Reimer, let's go the Blues. That's every road team today. Wouldn't that be amazing if every road team won? It'd be incredible. Off-season trade. What about off-season trade? So that's my full 42 for all of you guys. I didn't shop props. If you want my number one picks, and I kind of gave you one already, but if you want my top picks, bpalpicks.com for anybody that's still out there watching. There'll be trades, but I don't know. Like I think there might not be a lot of trades, but the trades that do happen tomorrow will be trades that you didn't expect. I'm gonna come down here again. I think it'll be trades that you didn't expect, like Thatcher Demko. If that does happen, I think goaltenders are going to move tomorrow. There's teams that are needing goaltenders. Thatcher Demko. What other goaltenders might be available? Oh my God. The Coyotes took Jacob Voracek to get a 6th round pick and gave back John Gillies. So the Columbus Blue Jackets bought, what the hell? I don't understand that trade. That's when I don't understand. How do you only get a 6th round pick for that? How do you only get a 6th? I know Jacob Voracek's on long term. That's a weird trade. I don't know all the details of why that shit happens, but what was I looking at? Goaltenders that might go tomorrow. That's what I was looking at. Korpisalo's gone. Demko, yes. There was a thought on the Ice Guys where there was a 3-way trade where Quick goes to Vegas, Hill goes to Edmonton or Toronto, and Murray goes to Columbus or something like that. Who needs goaltending? New Jersey Devils, I think, are going to roll with what they got. Pittsburgh. I don't know. They're going to roll with Jari, really? That would be like a place that Demko could go. Buffalo is going to be looking for goaltending. I don't know if they'll do it at the deadline, though. Allen will be out there. Allen will probably move. Ottawa should be looking for goaltending. I have that in my Demko video. And, well, the LA Kings are going to roll with Korpisalo, I guess. Watch for Gibson. I'm hearing lots of shit about Gibson, too. I don't know if that would happen at the deadline. And Vejmelka for the Arizona Coyotes. And then there's probably going to be some big moves you didn't see happening. Maybe 1 or 2 big moves. And then the rest are going to be like little pick'em guys. But anyways, that's my full 42. That's all I got to get to you today. Have a great day, everybody. What's tomorrow, Friday? Oh, yeah. I'll be streaming with Peyton on the radio tomorrow. JT Miller move tomorrow. That's an interesting thought. Okay, before I go, I will talk about that. That would be amazing if he was. And I think if he is, that would be a really smart move by Vancouver. I just don't see how. I don't know. Is anybody? I mean, he's not good. He's terrible 5-on-5. He's not a good defensive player. But a lot of teams don't even realize that anymore. Like still to this now, like if I would move him, JT Miller would not be my future captain. No way. No way. And then you can build up your center position however you're going to build it up. But there's no way. Yeah, I would move him for sure. But I don't know if they're going to, but if it were me, for sure I would. Who would he go to? Who would be stupid enough to take him? Probably the Calgary Flames. They have no cap space whatsoever, so it would have to be a 1-for-1 deal. Who would be stupid enough to take him? St. Louis Blues. That'd be funny. Trade O'Reilly and then trade a whole shitload for JT Miller. It's like the exact opposite player of O'Reilly. uh, they're Minnesota Wild now. They're not. They seem to be analytically based. New York Islanders might do that if they had the cap room, if they could work out the price. I could see them doing something like that. Like Pajot, I don't know if they don't even really have a first. It would be a difficult move for sure. I heard the Pittsburgh Penguins, but I don't think the Penguins were talking about JT Miller. I think they were talking about Demko. Montreal Canadiens, Ottawa, Tampa Bay, Toronto. Yeah, there's not too many teams that would even use him. He's making $6 million for a long time. An old player like that has a cap space and can make it work and stuff like that. I think it'd be pretty tough. I think the most likely would be the Islanders. But I don't know how they would get it under the cap or what they would have to do for that. They would have to definitely be juggling a few balls around there. No doubt about that. Possibly the Columbus Blue Jackets, mostly because I can't figure out if Kekalainen has got an analytics team there or not, to tell you the honest truth. I really don't know. But also Columbus, sometimes they just kind of happy that anybody wants to go there if they want to go there. I could see Columbus just because they're not really looking to rebuild in a normal way. They're looking to get pieces, because Kekalainen is a freaking draft guru. He is amazing. That's the reason why you have Kekalainen as a general manager. Him and his crew are pluck prospects and picks from everywhere. They don't need to be at the top of the draft to hit. They're amazing, especially European scouting. And the owner loves them for that reason because Columbus is bleeding money. So I would say if a team were to go out and do it, it would be the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they would sort of wince while they do it because, I mean, you're building a purely offensive team if you do that. And you'd have Miller playing with Laine and Gaudreau. You'd have like this. You'd have your first line, and then just keep on building prospects in, and hope for the best. That's kind of what Columbus Blue Jackets are doing. So if I were to, I'm not saying he would go tomorrow. I think in that contract, his no movement clause doesn't start until later. And they did that on purpose. That kind of leaves the door open for the possibility that they would trade him. I would be all over trading him. If you can find somebody that'll take it for Vancouver. I would just draft centers like crazy and try to get a center in free agency or whatever. He's not even playing center for them, right? Oh, he's hurt right now, too. Is he? Is he hurt? Where is he? Yeah. Week to week, yeah, he's hurt. So whoever took him, let's see what his contract looks like. I don't know if it'd be trade tomorrow then. What the heck? How come it doesn't show the rest of his contract here? Isn't he? Or didn't they already sign him long term to like $6 million? Why doesn't it show here? That's weird. Oh, here we go. Moderate no movement clause. 15 team no trade list. Oh, he's got a full no movement right now. Oh, but it doesn't kick in until next year. Yeah, I'd be moving him. $8 million a year. I mean, Columbus has no cap room, so you'd have to make a deal where you're getting players back. The good thing about it for Vancouver is they would need players back. And since I have Demko being traded, but they're going to probably have to get a goaltender back for that. That's why I like Pittsburgh. You could put Jari there. What was I looking at? Columbus. Yeah, like Jack Roslovich would have to be part of the deal. He's from Columbus too, but $4 million a year. They don't really need him, but he's a center for now. They'd have to make up the full $8 million somehow. Roslovich and Merzlikins. And then they have no goaltenders. They'd have to find a goaltender somehow. So yeah, I think it's unlikely, dude. But I'm gonna get going now. I got stuff I gotta do. Thanks for coming in, those that did, and have a great day, everybody. That's my full 42. Of course, people come in right when I'm finished.